My name's Jim Connolly. I'm the Executive Director at the Anacostia Watershed Society, which is a local environmental organization. We're working to clean up the Anacostia River. The Anacostia certainly is suffering from a lot of trash that gets into the waters. What happens is when people throw trash down on the street, if they have a plastic bag or a cup or a bottle, it lands on the street in the gutter, and when it rains, the rainwater comes and pushes it into the storm sewers, almost like a broom, and it just gets pushed in, and every single storm sewer in this whole region is connected by an underground pipe right into the nearest stream. And there's nothing in that pipe to slow the water down or to filter out any of the trash or any of the other pollution that goes in. Oil and grease and everything, it all goes into the river. And we've been really focused for a long time on trying to address trash, because you know what, that's the one thing that we all can understand. We all see it. You all get it. We all know that it doesn't belong here. And we have the belief that if we can get the river, if we can remove the visual blight, make it look good, then we can get people to buy into the larger vision and the larger possibilities that this river offers. But if it looks like this behind me, it's something that really sends a strong psychological message to stay away. This is not a place you want to hang out and be. Cleanups are good in the short term, because you can clean an area and it looks great, but then the next rain it's all messed up again. So really that's not addressing the source of the problem. It's not the core solution. It's kind of like a band-aid. So what we need to do is address the trash at the source, and the source is us, those of us who throw trash down or who allow trash to get out into the environment where it has a chance to get into the streams. So what we need to do is to have a whole menu of options. We need to have a lot better public education so people are more aware of the impact of trash on our water resources. We need to have trash capturing devices in the streams, at the street. We need to have street sweeping, regular street sweeping on all of our city streets. And we need to also have regulatory tools in place, legislation that puts in place things like a fee on bags, so that it allows the consumer to start making the choice of whether or not they want to, continue to use these products that are littering our streams. And I'm very excited to work with the DC Council on this. I think it's really courageous of them to put this forward. Councilmember Wells has been leading the charge, and I think it's fabulous. And what's exciting too is that now we see sort of similar legislation in Maryland that has been introduced. So now you start to see the bigger picture, that if we can get this legislation passed in the district and then passed in Maryland, suddenly the whole Anacostia River watershed is covered. And that sort of sends the message to other watersheds in other states and other cities that, look, we got to take responsibility for the impact we're having on our environment. There's been a lot of research done by ocean organizations that show that plastic never really goes away. It just breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces, and it gets to be almost the size of krill, which are little animals that fish eat. And when fish eat these plastics, they're ingesting these toxins that are part of the makeup of plastic. We then eat those fish, and the studies have also shown that these fish cause us to ingest these toxins to a level that start to act as endocrine disruptors in our system. And basically what that means is it interferes with the reproduction system in humans. So suddenly trash is no longer just an aesthetic issue. It's not just something that looks bad, but it has a direct impact on human health because it's in the food chain. Plastics are everywhere. So we really need to try to get plastics out of the environmental system and more into the waste system. Get it handled properly, where we can either recycle it or dispose of it in a responsible manner and not have it continue to pollute our waterways. Personally, I have seen the river actually getting better, because when I started doing this work 17 years ago, believe it or not, the trash was a lot worse. Now there's a lot more attention from the governments at all levels, from the federal all the way to the local. And there's also a lot more engagement by citizens in wanting to take responsibility for cleaning it up, for getting more attention paid to cleaning it up. So definitely, I think the river has improved in some ways. We've also seen it, some of the gains you make, say in protecting one area, are erased by another project that might come in and dump a whole lot of sediment from a construction project. Or we might see a loss of tree cover because something was cut down to build the project. So, in an urban area, there are unfortunately a lot of trade-offs that you have when you have a natural system. But overall, I think the prognosis for the Anacostia is improving. And this bag legislation that the DC Council is looking to pass will do great things towards getting a handle on this trash problem.